Hi, this is Abraham Walker with Ask A Walker, your Northern Virginia real estate agent, and I am accompanied by the lovely, beautiful, talented
Crystal Walker.
You gotta speak up, baby.
Crystal Walker.
Excellent. And today is, did we call this something yet? Walker Wednesdays with my wife.
I guess this is your Wednesday with your wife.
Wednesday with my wife. Wednesday with my wife. Oh, I like that alliteration. WWW. Wednesday with my WWMW.
Why not just Wednesday with the wife or Wife Wednesdays?
Wife Wednesdays.
Wife Wednesdays.
Wednesday wife. This is my Wednesday wife.
No, not at all. That won't work.
That won't work.
That
Okay,
won't work.
never mind. We'll figure out what the name of this is going to be. Anyway, so today's topic is, what do we want to talk about
We're
today?
going to talk about Fierce Conversations.
Fierce Conversations.
It's a book.
It's a book. This Fierce Conversations came into play with us a couple weeks ago. Do you want to tell them about it?
Yeah. So yes, we had a fierce conversation a few weeks ago. When Abraham returned from family reunion, we had to have a little come to Jesus moment within our relationship. I guess it was about our relationship and also about our business, and just our expectations where they weren't being met, and how what we could do to solve the problems that we're having, mostly within our business, which then could kind of trickle into issues within our marriage. So
That was how the conversation started. What would you say the theme of the conversation was? What was the theme?
I think the theme was expectations. I think that he and I had unclear expectations of one another and what our roles were. We're talking about the business, specifically within the business, and that he had some expectations of me that I wasn't aware of, and so he felt that I had some shortcomings, some failures, or as he would say, areas of opportunity within my role as director of operations of the company. And I felt that I was doing a great job, right? Like there was no, in our relationship or in our business, there was no 100-day plan for the EA or anything like that. So without a job description, I felt that I was doing a great job. And he did not. And I did not know that. I thought that, I thought things were going swimmingly. You know, I was doing what I was supposed to do, following up where I was supposed to follow up, or at least where I thought I was supposed to follow up. But also, I was very opinionated. I had strong opinions about things that he wanted to implement, things that he didn't want to do. And I felt like I had a vote. Like, he would give me an idea, and I thought it was a suggestion. I didn't agree with it. And I think the biggest reason for that is because, well, for starters, I'm his wife. But also because I already was running a successful real estate business before, or in my eyes successful, before he stepped down from his team leader role and joined, and we became Ask A Walker, right? I already was doing my thing my own way. So when he came on, it was like two separate agents working together under one brand. And over time, we decided that I wouldn't work as an agent anymore. I would focus more on growing the business and on the back end of the business. But I still felt entitled to a vote and an opinion on how he did what he did and what I would and would not do as the director of operations. He would tell me to do something, and I would feel that was his opinion, and so I would not do it because that
It was a suggestion.
I did not opine in the same manner, so
a suggestion.
I did not agree with that, so I would not do what he requested. So that led to a fierce, ferocious conversation.
Right. On my side, what I was seeing that the administrative and the sales department had not fully separated, right? It was almost like there was like, hey, you got this you want to do, or hey, you got this, do you want to do? It wasn't this is my role, I'm taking ownership of it, give it to me. It was,
and I feel it was that way on both sides, right? Because there's still some stuff that you would do on the admin side that perhaps, wasn't part of your role anymore.
Exactly. It was both. I think it was. We both led to that outcome, right? That the result that we were getting was the doing of both of us. It took
Yeah.
both of us to not just my not communicating, also Crystal not, I guess, wanting to communicate, or maybe not want, like, if you don't have clear expectations, it's very easy for you to meet the expectations.
Absolutely, right?
Yes. So often you'll see in organizations, right? I mean, I saw this when I was running the market center. Is that if you didn't give somebody an expectation, they would form their own expectation, and they would meet that. With
Yes, I was
certainty.
killing it.
Yes, she was
I
killing.
was killing it. I was meeting all of my own expectations.
She was meeting her expectations.
Crushing it.
And then after family reunion, I noticed that if we're really going to build the company that we want to build, if we're really going to have the lives that we want to have, if we're going to really impact the individuals that we want to impact, then we have to get serious about running a business, right? It's not really family anymore, right? It's a family member in the role.
Mm-hmm.
And so she still has liberties that I would not give another individual.
And that's because I have a stake in I am an owner of the company, so
Right.
I'm not just an employee.
Right.
And so I think that's what the issue was, is that I didn't like the idea of my husband telling me what to do.
Exactly. And a part of our conversation was, babes, I'm the CEO of the company, right? I have a role inside the company. I'm the agent. And also the company is being led, driven, guided by one individual. And so we have to decide today whether or not there's one individual guiding one company, or if we need to have two companies.
Yes, because we did talk about the possibility of us not working together. Ultimately, because what's most important to us is us.
Right.
So I would gladly leave real estate if it was going to impact my marriage. I mean, that's the long and the short of it.
I would gladly stunt my business's growth to maintain my relationship with my wife.
He would, because I'm the best. But anyway, so we had a really, I mean, it was a series of conversations. It took place in over a 24-hour period. A series of conversations just about what our expectations for one another were, and how we could both do better at communicating with each other, and what it would mean for the company. And essentially, we decided that we would take a few months and figure out exactly what my role in the company would be and how I could best do that, and just allow him to have control and trust in him. And I do trust him wholeheartedly. He is the leader of our family, so why wouldn't I trust him to lead the business? So
what do you think what was causing you not to be able to let me lead in the company? What do you think?
Well, I was already doing my own thing, right? So when we initially started, so Ask A Walker, although we just joined forces a little less than a year ago, I mean, I worked for Abraham part-time as his assistant when he was an individual agent before we moved to Northern Virginia, and then for a little while before he became team leader. And so the only reason I even became a real estate agent was because he became team leader, which then left me without a job. So I became a real estate agent since that was the industry I was already working in. But the plan had always been for us to work together as real estate agents. He was the lead agent. I was his assistant years ago. And the plan was always for me to eventually get my license and work with him. So when I did finally get my license, I was a real estate agent on my own, doing my own thing. So I got comfortable running my business the way I wanted to run my business. So then when he came out last year, it was essentially us trying to marry those two ways of doing business together. But we never had a conversation about how we're going to do that. It was basically, I'm stepping down from this role. We're going to work together. Let's do it. Right? And that was it. That was the extent of the conversation. We never really talked about whose system we were going to follow, who was going to do what within the company. I think initially we said he would do listings, I would do buyers. And then we quickly realized that wasn't a good fit for us. So we decided to go into a different route. But we still never really sat down and said, well, these are the expectations. Like, this is what your role is going to be. And so at times I also got frustrated with him because I felt that he wasn't doing his part. I felt like he wasn't doing his part either, or he wasn't fulfilling my expectations or meeting my expectations.
Excellent. What do you think the differences are between our philosophies when you were an individual agent and then when I joined forces? What do you think the differences are?
I mean, well, you're very lead gen or prospecting driven. Like, you really believe in going out and making a certain number of contacts, growing your database to grow your business. And I don't know, I feel like, I guess when I had my business, I wasn't so systematized, right? I met people, I put them in my database. I didn't have these, I didn't really follow up the touch campaigns. I didn't do so much database management. The business more came to me through relationships. I ran more of a referral-based business, which was, I got most of my business from people that I knew or people that knew them. Right. So I didn't prospect, and I didn't necessarily have to put people on touch campaigns because I had relationships, and those relationships turned into transactions for me.
Gotcha. And do you see any differences now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because right now we still have those same relationships. Many of the people that I have relationships with, you also have a relationship with. But then we have the prospecting piece in place, which includes your door knocking, your phone calls, and best of all, we have me following up with those people and putting them on the drip campaigns that we have finally gotten into place.
Right. Thanks to your help.
Yes.
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 How do you think that other people, if they're in a similar situation, maybe a husband and wife team, or two friends that got together in a relationship and that now they're a business relationship, how do you think that they should move forward with either having a similar come to Jesus moment or fierce conversation?
So, I think that for the most part, people want to get along, right? We try to avoid confrontation as best we can, and you and I were in that space for a long while, for a couple of months, of just existing and not confronting the problem, not addressing the problem. And that's problematic for a couple of reasons. For starters, nothing gets resolved, but also then sometimes you'll seek outside guidance, and that's kind of what kind of made it boil over for us, is that you've spoken to someone else about it and I wasn't aware.
Right.
You'd spoken to someone else about this huge problem within our business, but I didn't know that there was a huge problem or even a small problem within our business. And so because we had to face it, and it was an ugly conversation. There was a lot of just being honest about how we felt about what the other person was doing. Because when you're in a relationship with anyone, the way you see things is probably not going to be the same way that person sees it, right? So it allowed us having this difficult conversation, it allowed us to see things from the other person's side, which allowed us to have a paradigm shift, each of us. It opened us up to seeing things from the other person's side, and it was really difficult, and we did not know what the outcome was going to be. But once we had the conversation, we were able to come out on the other side of it. And for us, and this may not always be the case, but for us, we're better for it. It's been great for our personal relationship because we're closer than we've been in a long time. But also our business is running so much more smoothly because we have set expectations. Right. And now I know what you expect of me. And because of that, and it's not just like, oh, well, Abraham said this, and so now that's what I do. It's, oh, this is what you were looking for in this role. Had I had more guidance when I started off into this role,
which is my responsibility,
then perhaps I would have been doing this all along. Maybe I wouldn't have, because I probably would have had an opinion, and it would have differed from yours, and then I just would have done anything. Who knows, But just coming out on the other side of the conversation has been great for us, because having a different conversation allowed us both to grow.
Excellent. I think we should leave it there. It's 14 minutes now.
It's kind of long.
It is. You talk a lot.
I do.
Excellent. Like I said, these videos are very therapeutic. What would I add to that? I don't think I need to add anything to that. I think Crystal said it all. Excellent. We'll have another video next week for Wife Wednesdays, or
Wednesdays with my
wife.
Wednesday
wife.
No, she's not. She's your everyday wife. You're very fortunate to have her. She's the best.
Yeah, Wife Wednesdays or whatever. My name is Abraham Walker. You can reach me at abraham@askawalker.com. I do appreciate your future referrals. Crystal, how do they get in touch with you?
Crystal@askawalker.com.
Excellent. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.